Paylocity's Futurist-in-residence Elatia Abate gave an inspiring presentation on the future of HCM. We received a lot of great feedback, but one comment stood out. So we brought Elatia back to sit down with Paylocity's CHRO Jill Morrison to tackle the comment and other common HR pain points head on.
What did you think of the HR leaders' comment?
Listen, I can really relate to it. I think it's tough as HR leaders sometimes to take, the big ideas and translate those down to how we're operating every day. So I always appreciate the feedback, and I'm excited to talk more about it.
I echo that. Even though my realm is future in my day-to-day, part of the game is learning how to translate future forward into tools and strategies that we can use to create results and impact right now. So I'm excited about the conversation.
Ready to tackle these together?
Sure am.
Absolutely. How can my HR team take the various recognition tools we have at our disposal and link them together to create a cohesive program that ties to our company's values and goals?
Yeah, it's a great question. Recognition is such a key component for showing employees that they're valued. We know it directly impacts their engagement. It also strengthens teams and cross-functional partnerships. I think recognition is often thought of as manager to employee, but it's so much about peer-level recognition, team-level recognition, and I think we need those tools as HR leaders to support those environments. And there's such a mix of programs out there, and there's absolutely an opportunity for technology to pull those things through together. But I would say in my experience, everybody needs a little something different too. So you have to have that balance of, company-wide opportunities and a single platform, but also flexibility to help teams and kind of meet them where they are, right? They might have a specific change they're managing or, just function differently. And that means their recognition needs to be a little bit different. So bringing that flexibility into it.
Yeah, it's one of the dynamics that I look at when I study the future of work is the global shifting workforce population and what that means, or one of the ingredients of that I look at is our questions around longevity and the shifting workforce population. Thanks to advances in longevity science, we're now looking folks who are born today at 100-year or longer lifespan, healthy lifespans. And so when we're looking at not managing 3 generations of people, but 4 or 5 or even more, this kind of customization and being able to meet people where they are and have flexibility around things like recognition becomes critically important for those also follow-on things like engagement.
Right.
And what we're going to have is rewards that are customized to the T for individuals' development, for their interests, across a whole series of very personalized things that today we kind of guess at, we sort of might know, we might be able to have a proxy for. But the ability to engage very specifically with people and lift them up in ways that are going to be particularly meaningful to them it's going to be in our hands. And what an exciting
that's amazing to think how much more impactful you can make a program like that when you get more and more customized. Earlier this year, we ran a program during Employee Appreciation Week. So you think about these events happening out there in the world, and this was one where we took that Employee Appreciation Week, we created a special badge where employees could just share a special moment of appreciation, kind of in honor of that week. And we had over 20,000 moments of appreciation shared across peers, across leaders and individuals for our 6,000 employees. So you think about that in a week, that was multiples of receipt of recognition for individuals. It feels incredible for people. It feels incredible to give it. It feels incredible to receive it. And just a really simple way that we use the platform to do that. They're using mobile to do it, right? So you're making it really easy to, take a moment after a good meeting, say, I really appreciated that. And just making that, again, part of the day-to-day operating of a company, right? Having it be really natural and encouraged to share recognition.
Yeah, and I think this also lends to that conversation around engagement and folks being really excited to come into the workplace, because when you know that your team is looking out for you, that they're going to give you ups in every conversation or, in front of other folks, people get more engaged and more productive and up to more interesting things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you also need, you want that flexibility as you're sometimes really focused on driving very specific behaviors, right? So you want these broad things that support everyone and are, feel great to show appreciation, but sometimes you're working through a difficult change. And you know what, you're maybe driving specific accountability in a certain area. And you have this ability to customize a program where you're really targeting that behavior and you're really looking to recognize great examples of that behavior across the team. And you might spotlight that for others. There's public recognition too, which I think is a big important component of the social element of recognition as well. And you know, having that ability to take a single platform and kind of tick all of these boxes, right? Just to either, you know, cover very specific things or to broadly support who you are as a company. How do you want to operate? These are our values and we're encouraging them every day, but how do you do that in a way that, you know, really gets you to the higher level of impact as a team?
Yeah, I want to grab something that you said a little bit earlier, which is this notion of recognition reinforcing companies' values. And as the workforce continues to evolve over time, authenticity and integrity becomes critically important, even more so than before. So is what you're doing in-house mirroring what you said when you were recruiting people? Are those company values and is culture aligned with what you're recognizing? And that, it's such a strategic advantage for organizations in keeping the best talent in the marketplace.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Values, a lot of times, I say this to people that join Paylocity all the time. They're often on a website when you're recruiting people, and it's really important, and they can be great, and then people get into the company and they don't hear much about them anymore. So at Paylocity, this is something I've always felt like was a big differentiator for us, because we naturally weave it into our language every day. But I think part of why we do that is we have tools like to reinforce it, to recognize that, and be really deliberate about how you're reinforcing your values.
Well, and that's a key strategy around employer branding, right? Does what I'm selling in the marketplace match the product, meaning the opportunities that I have in-house once I get there? And if it's not aligned, then you're looking at attrition challenges and engagement challenges and all of these things. But when it's so nicely aligned, then you get all of that great echo back.
Yeah, agree. Well, thanks, Elatia. It was so much fun to hear your thoughts on the future of HR.
Thank you so much. It was great to be in conversation with you again.
Awesome. We'll talk more soon.
Yeah.